So this is graphing and geometry review. So I have my, see a coordinate grid here. I see the x-axis is 0 through 5, y is 0 through 5. I see 2 points on here, so probably gonna have to know my coordinates. So write the coordinates of the points in the graph. So I have 1 point right here, which is 3, 2, and I have a point here, which is 0, 3. Always starting with this x-axis, and then the y. And if it's on this line, that's in line with 0. All right, graph and label these points on the graph. So what are the instructions? One says graph, and then I see this word and. So that means I have to do 2 things. I have to graph and label. I can't just graph it, I can't just label, I have to graph and label. So I need to know what label means too. So let's see, graph and label these points in the graph. 2, 1. So here's 2, 1, and I want to label this. So I graphed it, I haven't labeled anything left yet. What label means is I have to say what that dot is. So that dot is 2, 1. What about 2, 5? 2, 5? 2, 5. They need to be in parentheses, being mathematical, and then 1, 4, and then parentheses. All right, connect 4 of the points on the graph to form one of these figures. So I want to do a rectangle, a square, a rhombus, or a kite. Ooh, that looks like a rectangle right there. That's like a triangle. That, I think I'm just going to do that. So I did a rectangle. Write the name of the figure you formed and list the 3 of its properties. So I did a rectangle. All angles equal 90 degrees, or are right. That's 1. 2 opposite sides are parallel. Opposite sides are congruent. All right, number 4, does a square have all the properties of a rhombus? Or does a rhombus have all the properties of a square? This is great. This is good stuff. This is exactly how you're going to know by this answer whether you understand the hierarchy or not. So remember, the hierarchy goes, it starts at the very top with polygons, and then quadrilaterals, and then it starts breaking apart. It's like trapezoid, with parallelogram, and then kind of goes down, down, and down. So we have the rhombus, which is like over here, and then we have the square, which is the very last one. So which way does it go? Are all rhombuses squares, or are all squares rhombuses? Hopefully you know it goes up. Okay, it goes up. So the thing on the bottom is everything above it, okay, that it's connected to. So that means the square has all the properties of the rhombus. Okay, a rhombus has 4 congruent, congruent sides, as does a square. The square also has 4 90-degree angles. Rhombus does not. Once that rhombus has 90-degree angles, it's no longer a rhombus, it's now a square. That's why they call squares special rhombuses. Rhombuses? How many balls can Brad put in a box that has 6 by 6 balls in the bottom layer and 5 layers? Show your work. So they're giving us the bottom layer, which is also the base. So we can say volume equals width times length times height. We can also say volume equals base times height. Our base here is that bottom layer. So this is saying that we have a 6 by 6 and that we are going 5 layers. Now I could do 36 times 5, but I don't really like that one, so I'm going to change the parentheses because it's multiplication. So I see one that might be a little easier, so I'm going to say 6 times 5, right? Hopefully that looks a little bit easier to everybody else. So that changes my equation of volume equals 6 times 30, and then volume equals 180. So that would be 180 baseballs. And that's Graphing and Geometry Review. Ciao.